All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 2
Hi.
of your wine therapy. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. We got 12 people on. All right. So we're going to start with fun stuff. Let's talk about wine. All right. So who's drinking? Who's drinking wine?
Drinking wine.
Donna is. Sabrina is.
I have the Fleur Bleu Pinot Grigio.
All right.
I've
So
been sick all week, so
Of the Heritage Ranch. I mean, the Family Ranch Heritage.
I've got the Moderna Tanit.
All right. Let's see.
Seems like I'm the only one not drinking right now.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm driving. Approach you trade. Okay. So I think that was Cindy. Cindy, are you drinking the Heritage, Cindy?
Yes.
All right, so your gets you. I'm picking you. Okay, so sell it to us because it's new. I want to hear all about this fantastic new wine that Wine Shop at Home has.
Well, I haven't even read the notes on it, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of a Sauv Blanc. It's, kind of crisper and a little more acidic, and it's good. It's easy to drink. And it's really easy to open. I don't have to remember my wine screw.
Corkscrew. What was I was talking about the orange muscat today to somebody on Voxer, and I said, I have to say, I really do love a twist off cap. It's like so nice. I love it. All right. Okay. And Sabrina, what were you drinking?
The Fleur Bleu Pinot Grigio.
Okay, go for it. Talk about it.
All right. When you've taken your son to cross-country practice and you ran in the heat at 3:30 p.m., this is the most refreshing way to hydrate yourself. There's aromas of hyacinth and lychee and mandarin orange. I don't know. And it has a beautiful golden hue color to it. It's actually my first time trying this Pinot Grigio, and it's very delicious because I'm still red a little bit in the face from this practice we did today. So this is definitely a porch pounder for me right now, too. I love that word.
There you go. You had me at lychee. I love anything with lychee in it.
I don't know. I made all that up because I remember Alex talks about those lychee and all that, and I have no idea how those even smell and taste.
I know. I don't know. I can't sell anything in wine. I try, guys. But with the orange muscat, I could probably get a little hint of orange in there. But I don't know. I'm like, wine. So
the Pinot Grigio, somebody talked about it last time, didn't they? About how he doesn't make them that often?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, but Shelly, did you hear her? She said she made it all up.
Yeah.
I know she did.
Well, I did not make up the part that I did run at my son's cross-country practice.
It's porch pounder. No, I know she did.
But that's the key. No one cares what the actual real thing is. You just say whatever. It doesn't matter.
They had me going. I thought it was all legit the whole time.
Is that your tastings, right? So who else has tasted some of the Family Ranch stuff? What are we liking?
I tried it at convention, the Cab Franc and the Legacy. The Cab Franc has this, and I am being honest, the Cab Franc has this kind of peppery spiciness that I remember during the award dinner that my husband Jeff really liked. But my favorite was the Legacy. I really liked how smooth that red was.
I agree. I like that one.
Same here.
One of my girls just posted that the orange muscat is her favorite Wine Shop at Home wine she's ever had.
Ooh, I gotta try that.
I'm seeing some red people say that they like it. It's not super sweet. I think it's good, but I'm in that arena. I'm the front part of the menu girl. So, but I like it. So you all should try it. And it's cool and it's new and it's different. Kelly's laughing, but it's true. So fun. So yeah. So, are we happy that they're lower priced?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we like
Yeah.
that? Okay. And I hadn't asked anybody yet. I mean, I assume we like that.
Except that they're all in this month's wine club, so that doesn't make much savings.
Because of the cost, you mean?
Yeah, wine club members don't have 25 or to 40% savings this month because they're all lower price.
Oh, yeah, but usually they do.
Well,
Okay.
first month in 10 years, so they can just.
I know. I'm just not telling anybody about it. So
Yeah, you
Well,
know,
and then they might drink it and be like, oh my God, this is so inexpensive. I'm going to buy a case from Jacqueline.
Exactly.
so what do we think? So what
I
do
have
you,
a question about Wine Club. Is it going up?
if it is, I have not been informed of it.
Okay. I just saw some, I don't know, something
Oh,
written
not-
somewhere that it was,
Where
I
did-
know.
What? No.
Is it $34.95 and $64.95?
Yep.
That's normal.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes people post the full price with tax and shipping, so you might have seen that and got confused.
Oh,
I never tell people it's 64 or 34. I never tell people that. That's not the bottom line.
Yep, I bet you're absolutely right. That's probably what you saw. But no, it's not going up, and the base price is not going up by any means. So that's good. So what do we think's coming out next month?
Queen Mama.
The Royal Mama?
I hope so.
I never know till you know. That's why it's just fun to ask. I don't know. We'll see. I like the Royal Mama. I think it's a fun one. Don't you think? And I think we'll sell a boatload of it too.
Oh, yeah.
The Credia, you know,
That I'm excited for.
I was talking to Wendy, she's our label designer at convention, and she said she was really excited because it was going to be going into production or something this month. So maybe that one's coming out. I don't know if that's a hint or not, but maybe not. Maybe that's a couple months out then. Maybe that's more of a holiday. I could see that coming out around the holidays with that beautiful label. So now we're just wine talking. But anyway, we'll see. We'll all find out on September 1st together. So, well, good. All right, let's jump to the topic. So we talked about doing your do boards and action boards. I think I got 12. I tried to post all of them that I got on the it's Andy unmute me. She's got some crazy things. So I tried to post them. So we're gonna go through them as best we can. If I pull up somebody's and you're not on the call, I'm skipping it. How about that? Okay, so then that could be a private conversation or something later, but I want to go through the ones we had. So Sally was the first person with the posters, and I used her kind of as an example when she posted it, kind of what I was, I guess, looking for, but where I wanted your minds to go with it. So vision boards are fantastic, but really an action board is going to guide you through steps and what you need to do it. So I think as you're looking at them and as we're going through it, it's like asking questions. So her first thing was solidify and hone my opening. I guess my question, what's wrong with it? Why does she think something is wrong with it? You know, why do you think it needs to change? There must be something happening right at the tasting. What are you going to do to fine tune it, to fine tune your host coaching? Because she goes into host coaching down here. So just questions, you know, what actions are you going to take? What specifically needs tweaking? So if she wants to hone like her opening, are you going to write out some examples of it? Are you going to work with your leader on it? Are you going to, try it out in front of some people, whatever, like, what are you going to do? Like just saying that, I want to know the action steps and what is going to happen and what are the results she's shooting for. So sometimes we think it's one thing that's funky, but that thing was probably okay. So maybe her opening is actually fantastic and she would work with Sabrina on that. And this is good. Or Sabrina would say, that sounds really great. Maybe add this thing to it. But maybe it's not the opening. Maybe it's somewhere in the body of it. So this is why I want you guys to kind of dissect what is going on, what's going to help you. Why are you not consistent with full service checkout? Which, this is my thing. Be consistent with full service checkout. Okay, so the question I would have, and this is good, obviously, when you're talking to people on your team is, why are you not offering it every time? What is happening at your tastings? So you may get the reaction from somebody that's like, well, there's like always these people and they're partying and they're drinking too much wine. Well, that's you not controlling the tasting. So again, sometimes we have to kind of bunker down and see what the root cause of things are and why it's happening. Host coaching, if you want to fine tune your host coaching, what are you doing with it? Like, what does that mean? Are you not talking to them more? Do you need to talk to them more? So maybe that fine tuning is, I've only been talking to my host one time before the tasting. Maybe she needs to change it to 3 times. So again, being specific. I want to build my team. So if you want 6 active IWCs by December 31st, what are you going to do? Like, what does that mean to you? Are you going to concentrate more on onboarding? Are you not doing something there? Are you not helping them with their launches? Are they out of state? What can you do to kind of hone in on it? And then with Jamaica, I had how many points are you going to earn each month? What's your PV going to be every month? Recruiting every month? Like, what is your plan? So Jamaica to me is more vision. That's not due. That's your overall goal to earn that, but what are you going to do to earn it? So I am picking on you, Sally, but I had already picked on you on the page. So I kind of was looking through it. And also, when you look at the things that you want to accomplish, what trainings have you listened to? What do you need? Do you need more one-on coaching? Are these things that you really want to achieve? Did you go back through? Like, say someone says, I need more bookings. Okay, when's the last time you watched any training or did anything on getting more ideas to book more tastings? So this is why I want you guys to kind of dig. But you guys are going to help me with some of these, and we'll talk them through. So thank you, Sally, for being the guinea pig. All right, this was a last-minute one that came in. And this was really good. So this is Cassandra's. I think I saw her on here. I loved this because I thought it was super detailed in a good way, like Wine Biz Do More tastings. This is what she's going to do to get more tastings. Reaching out to friends and family, reaching out to former hosts and their guests, doing vendor events, calling people on my chicken list, asking for referrals. The only thing I would say on this one is reaching out to friends and family. Where's your list? I already have 10 people on my list. I'm going to grow that to 20. So being super specific. And she may have a list, right, already, and she knows this because this is her board. So doing vendor events. Okay, so do you have any on your calendar already? What are you going to be doing to find more vendor events? Is it I'm going to go on Facebook, look in Facebook groups. I'm going to Google events in my area, whatever it might be. So different ways in order to find these things, because those are your actions. This keeps poking up. Oh, hi, Lori. So let's go to the Grow My Business. By bettering my host coaching, inviting those who are interested to talk to my upline, showing guests how fun and simple it is. Oh my God. So is that Jacqueline? No, she's muted. So if I look at Grow My Business, like what are some things here? Where would you dig a little bit deeper to kind of get some more, I guess, details? What are the questions that you would ask?
I would ask, like, if they had ever thought about doing something like this, or, you know, if they could use that extra money, like what they're trying to do in order to get there. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, like, figure out verbiage on how I can actually do it and separate myself from my day job.
Okay. Separate yourself from your day job. That's everybody's goal, to separate themselves from their day job. All right, so same thing, like improve sales, better host coaching. So what would be better host coaching? Because Sally have this too. This is a big thing.
Actually, just making sure that I stick to my checklist and I'm actually on top of the whole coaching thing. Because I've noticed that if they're a really good friend of mine, I may not host coach them as much as I may someone who's never heard of Wine Shop.
Okay.
So just making sure that I'm consistent with all of them.
So what are some tips that you guys would give to her to be able to manage that better?
How to manage host coaching better?
Mm-hmm.
We actually just had a team call about host coaching yesterday, and I think really, which is something I'm trying to improve as well, keeping it a system. And what that means is, I think nowadays texting is really popular with host coaching, but you definitely need to have at least one or more personal phone calls with your hostess. But have like a timeline of when you do things. So like if you're booking from the tasting, you know, go over the wine samplers with her, see if she wants a custom pack. The next day, confirm things via text. I think doing things via text is convenient. Just confirming, you know, that you're doing the Facebook event, setting up that Facebook event ASAP. I heard a great tip from another leader that even if you book a tasting in October, you want to set that Facebook invitation up now. You don't want to wait. Okay. I think just being on top of it and, you know, making it easy for her. Like if you were going to host a Pampered Chef party, you would want to know a lot of information on what to do. It's the same for our hosts, that we're never bothering them with giving them the cheese list and, you know, seeing if they want to join the business, all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what we would want as well. So just really kind of befriending them and letting them know that you want to help them maximize their rewards. So just, you know, not to, even if the tasting's not till October, I would just be like at least once a week posting something fun in their Facebook event, you know, just telling them how excited you are, creating that relationship. And that's what I'm trying to work on getting better at myself.
This is Sandy. I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
So what I have discovered is I have a service that
I might drown.
I upload my host's contact information and the date of their party, and then I have certain number of days out from their tasting, it automatically sends them host coaching text messages like, this is the reminder. Do you have your guest list in place? Want to make sure that we have a wide demographic of who you're going to invite, not just the people who are going to taste the wine, but buy the wine. These are the types of cheeses that you want to consider and things like that. So I use that service, and that really helps solidify the previous comment about staying on top of your host coaching. But it takes a little bit of effort to set up in the first place. But once you get it down, it really does take a lot of the effort on the back end of it.
How much is it?
It's $10 a month.
Okay. That's not bad.
If you guys don't have a service, the other thing you can do is use the notes section of your iPhone or your phone and just have verbiage of what you would already say to a hostess, like, you know, talking about her host perks or confirming things with the head count or talking about the cheese list. If you have, and you could use this even for customer service or your wine club check-in, if you have text messages at the ready in your notes section that you can just copy and paste, that can be really helpful as well. Services are great. I use an email service, but just to give you guys something kind of free that you can work with as well.
Melinda, you were going to ask a question, I think.
My kids were screaming and yelling, and I couldn't hear. What company or what program are you? The text message program that they talking about? Because I use MailChimp and stuff. But I don't do text, so just curious what text service that was.
I'll post a link to the group, but it's called Project Broadcast.
Okay, I just wanted to do some research, so
yeah,
I just hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, and it is all texting based. It is a virtual texting number, so it does come with a virtual number. And my first time that I sent it out, I just kind of sent out and said, hey, this is your wine girl, Andy. This is my wine VIP number. So if you see any texts, add this number to my contacts or my contact number so you know it's from me. And then I think if you use the link that I'll send you, you get your first month for free.
Oh, okay. I just know that it seems that a lot of my hosts rather just text than call. Even though I call them, they just rather text. And I get it because it's just simpler for them. Like you can do that real quick instead of getting on the phone and having a full conversation. So I get it, even though I try calling them and I have my whole schedule. But like my last person, I swear, she never answers my calls. But she'll send me a text message right back saying, oh, I'm sorry I missed your call, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like a 20-page long text message. But that's what she wants, so.
And no one wants to email anymore because everything gets caught. They're overburdened with spam. And to answer, and it's basically taking your script that you have, your notes that you have saved to your notes. You create a campaign, and like I said, you just enter in the person's number, the date that they're scheduled for their tasting, and then 21 days out from their tasting, they're going to get the first reminder text, and then 15 days later, 15 days prior, they're going to get the next one saying, hey, just want to let you know that your sampler is going to ship in 3 or 4 days. I will do a manual text that says, here's your tracking information if they don't already get it, or did they get their tracking information? So, and it just and then you can still respond back and forth in two-way dialogue, but it just helps. I'm a very busy person, and so I don't have the opportunity and the resources to kind of do that. Because when I do, and the other side of that is when I have the time to do those text messages or make those reminder phone calls, it's probably at 9 p.m. my time. And, you know, that's just rude. You don't want to reach out to them unless you know that they're a night owl. So you can schedule it to go out at a certain time, you know, 11 a.m. at a certain day. You know, everyone will get a text message at 11 a.m. Not a big deal. They'll just respond to you when they have the ability to do so.
So it's an option to look at. I think with host coaching, and, you know, Sabrina said, you know, it's systematic, basically. It's basically setting yourself up. I do a lot of reminders like in my calendar, so stuff pops up. So that's the one topic. But the moral of the story is just look at the details and how you basically can break it down to be better, whatever it is. I think it's first trying to figure out, why is this what I'm trying to achieve? Why do I want to change this or fix it? And then what can I do to make it better, or better in your eyes? Or how can I work with maybe my upline in order to do it? And you'll have different goals, of course. So even this one, like shadowing leaders as well as learning from fellow consultants, I would say I want to shadow 2 people every single month. So getting more specific is what is going to drive your business too. Because if you kind of have a checklist and a to-do list, you're going to probably follow it versus just saying, oh, I want to go to Jamaica. Sabrina was definitely detailed in hers too. So I would say like book 6 or more tastings a month. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Well, she told me she's going to message 5 people Monday through Friday about bookings and 5 about the opportunity. She probably has a list, and if she doesn't have a list, I'd say you need to make your list. So you're able to do it. Maybe it's breaking it down. These are the 5 people I'm going to call every day, have their information there. So even more detail and breaking it down, which is going to help you. I think Kelly's is next, and we can pick one of these to kind of pick on. So Kelly did our fun visual pictures here. I love your full service checkout checklist. Where'd you find that? Like Pinterest? I'm like, where did she get that from? So that's
on the internet.
What does that spell out? I can't see it.
Exactly. Can you see?
What does that say?
Which one?
The acronym.
Oh, I don't think it's an actual acronym.
Oh.
No, it just says fun, opportunity. Yeah, whatever. So that's kind of fun. But I've always talked about searching stuff and Googling stuff. A lot of times you can find like action steps too. So
Kelly, can you post that on the team page? Because I can't see it very well later on.
Yeah, I will for sure. And then you have the 20 habits. But I want to pick on this one, Kelly. Let's go for don't decrease the goal, increase the effort. So what does that mean exactly in terms of action?
It just means that when you see that you're not getting close to your goal, you don't say, well, I don't really need to do 8 tastings. I'll just do 7 because it's fine. That is so me. And you can't do that. I mean, your goal is your goal. And when you can't change the goal to fit what you're actually going to do. You have to stick with your goal, and you either achieve it or you don't, but you have to learn to sit with however it feels when you don't do it. Mm-hmm. Because that's what's going to be the thing that changes your action the next time. So that's why I put that in there.
Okay, I like it. And Sabrina, I'm going to go back to yours where it says set monthly personal sales goals and team sales goals. So how do you set those goals? What would be your action to like have that number in your head?
Yeah, well, I like to look at last year and what I did during that same time and try to increase it. And then my personal goal, I try to, strive toward bonus gates, of course. Mm-hmm. If I have a low amount of tastings, I'm going to work on more outside sales so that I can ramp the sales up to get to that bonus gate, whichever one I'm going for. And then team sales, just looking at how many tastings they have that month, if it needs to increase for the averages to be able to get toward that goal. Where I'm at as far as my level, it's not a DGV point at this, aspect at this point, but right now it's just a matter of making sure, we're increasing what we did from year to date is what I'm doing right now. But if you have other tips, I'll take them.
Well, and I like what Sabrina says, and even if you're a new consultant, it's really awesome to kind of take a look. You're brand new, you're coming fresh. Every year you should be striving for a little bit more, even if it's from a personal aspect, even if it's $5 more, just doing a little bit more every single year. For team sales goals, looking at, and a lot of you are interested in these calls because you want to grow your business and become like a team leader, right? So when you start looking at how many tastings you have for yourself, right? And then as you start to incorporate people into your team, looking at that bigger picture on how many tastings you totally have, and then kind of doing a breakdown. So if I want to become a team leader, or I want my team this month to do, let's say, $3,500, which is a minimum for a team leader, or even $2,000, right? You're going for senior wine consultant. How many tastings do you have to have on your board in order to do that? And that then starts some action steps. So if it's doing a booking blitz, right? Working with them. If you are talking to them individually about what is going on with your business. And again, people are going to do what they're going to do. I think it's also important to kind of get a clear idea on how many tastings not only you want to do, you have to make that decision, but how many tastings those people that are on your team want to do, because that will help you. So you may need 15 tastings on your total team calendar to hit whatever goal you're going for, but you may have 5 people on your team that are like, I just want to do one a month, and I'm cool with that. Well, then that's not going to happen, right? So if it's you and 5 people that only want to do 5 a month, and you're willing to do, well, you're going to have to do 10 yourself. Does that work with your schedule? Does that work with your life? So if you set a goal, you have to kind of take a look at yourself, but also have a realistic view of your team. And last night on the call, if you guys don't listen to it, Kate Trock had said, you got to start in reality. That's the first step. You have to start with what you really have. And if you don't, want to face that reality, then you got to get more people in order to be able to hit whatever that goal you are. And I think that is really important. So the biggest tip would be kind of facing reality. What do you have, and what can we do? And what are those realistic goals in order to achieve it? So let's move on to the next 2. All right. So this was Sarah Jacobs. I don't know if Sarah's on the call or not. So she actually did a breakdown, 8+ Jamaica points per month, team leader. She needs to recruit. Don't be afraid of no. Full service checkout. Ask if they want wine club every time. Good prospects, offer the opportunity. So I don't know if Sarah's on. If she's not on, I'm going to skip her. You're not on, Miss Sarah. So Kristen Wright, your upline leader, will be working with you on your new board to break that down. All right, this is Miss Jacqueline's. I'm remembering all these people. It's good. So Jacqueline says, contact 10+ people for new biz and follow up. Maintain 8+ tastings a month. I like your quote, a strong woman never looks a challenge dead in the eye and gives a wink. That's super cute. Sponsor 4+ new IWCs a month. Support for a rich rewards plan for promotion. Support for RR plan for promote. What's that mean, Jacqueline? Support for rich rewards plan for promotion?
Yeah, for the new people. I was abbreviating because not as tech savvy as everybody, and I couldn't fit everything on one line.
Support current team for new team leader opportunity. So I actually want to talk about the support current team for new team leader opportunity. What do you mean?
That means that not brand new people who are already existing, who have not reached team leader level since we have that new promotion.
Okay.
So Cassandra, Cassie, for example, is on this call. She's doing a weekly call with me, and she's stepping some things up. So donating some more time to her.
Okay, so what are some action steps that you could do? Anybody about really this new team leader bonus program? People can earn $500. What are things that you can do to help people do that?
Well, dissect their calendar and see how many tastings they have, and if they don't have the number that they need, what are they going to do to get there? So working on their list. Cassie and I talked about our Franks list and expanding it and diving deeper into that. And my top one up there, that's per day. That's every day, 10+ people every day. So that wasn't just in general.
This is a question, because this is even good for new people to hear. Like, how the hell do you contact 10 people a day? Like, where do you get those people from?
My tastings, typically.
Okay.
And I keep I use my customer care cards and I keep notes on them. So if I contacted someone who said they were interested in posting but wouldn't book with me, and they said September, I'm going to contact them the next day. If I haven't heard from them in a week, I'm going to contact them with my dates and say my calendar's filling. If you still want a September date, this is it. And if I don't hear back from them, I pretty much will kiss them goodbye and maybe wait unless I really have a hole to fill. But I'm pretty persistent in giving them free contacts normally.
Okay.
You know, a great place to also, I was really working a lot on sales at the end of the cruise trip period, and all of it really, I went from A to Z. Kelly knows this. I went from A to Z through my Facebook friend list, and it took about 3 days.
Yep.
But so now I'm like, shoot, where do I go now? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's a great place if you're newer. Those of you that are on this that are newer, that's a great place for you to start. And the biggest advice just I can give you from what I did is don't prejudge. There's a lot of people that bought wine from me that I did not think would. Having a glass of wine before you start really can help. And I'm not kidding. I mean, for me, it just kind of lowered the anxiety, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to send out to these 10 people, this message, and you just kind of like see what happens. And some people answer you immediately. Some might take 2 or 3 days, but nobody was rude back to me. They were the ones that were very polite, or it was not a right now. So that's a great area. I mean, your phone too, but that's a great area, Facebook, because you can see when they've read it. And that's what I love. You can see if they're online. I really haven't utilized that ever before like that. And that was very eye-opening for me a couple weeks ago.
Sabrina, question for you. So I have like 500 people on Facebook because I'm a serial Facebooker, and but a lot of them, I know them, but I don't know them. Did you literally contact every person on your Facebook? And then how did you open that conversation with people maybe that are not, they're friends, but they're not your buddies, they're just acquaintances? How did you navigate that?
I did not ask every single person. I've got over 1,000 people on there.
Okay.
So I didn't go to every single person. Like my sisters are on there, and I didn't ask them. They know what I do. You know what I mean? So I asked past hostesses, people who used to be on my wine team, past customers, but I actually reached out to a lot of people that just knew me through my kids' schools. They've never even hosted a tasting before. They've never bought wine from me before, but they just know what I do. And I shared with them my goal, and I asked if they, would like to see. I put the ask out there. So you can put your ask out there. For me, I was saying, would you like to see the July wine menu and our specials? I kept it very simple and short, and I added a graphic to it. And I asked people that have never hosted before, but I know that they like wine. I see them, drinking wine and stuff like that. Some people I was just like, what the hell? I'm just going to ask them, and they were very much acquaintance, 6 degrees acquaintance.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I have to lose? So what? I'm never probably going to see them.
They'll just unfriend you.
Right. They could just unfriend me, but nobody did, and it was fine. So I think you just got to break that wall down and just say, what the hell, and do it.
From a new consultant perspective, I think that's fantastic advice, because it's hard initially. Sometimes you don't want to bug people. You don't want to come across as the creepy wine lady, but really you just have to go for it. And if you want to do it, you have to break through that. And the faster you can do that in your initial onsetting of becoming a consultant, the more it's going to pay off long term. So like even Jacqueline said, sponsor 4+ new IWCs a month. So in my head, if I had that goal, what would I do? I would make sure I did full service checkout every single person. I would ask everybody about the opportunity. I would be setting up recruiting interviews with these people within 24 to 48 hours. Like I would be super specific. I would, if I'm not getting them from tastings, what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to my contact list and start reaching out to people. So I was the person, I would set these goals, and I was going to hit them, and I was going to figure out a way to do it, because I didn't want to fall short. And I would set realistic goals, and sometimes I'd stretch myself, and Jacqueline is that same way. So if I write that down, I'm going to sponsor 4 people, I'm going to figure out a way to do it. So that's why I want you guys to look at your reality and say, what are you willing to do, the action steps every day to run your business like a business. So I like, this is good, Jacqueline, because it's super specific, but break it down.
The reason I picked 4+ is because that's 1 a week. That's manageable. That's doable. If you're doing tastings every week, you have, potentials.
Yeah. So especially if you're doing 8+ tastings, like that's your goal. So let's say you have 8 tastings. This is a good math number for you guys. If I have 8 tastings in a month, and let's say 10 let's say 8 people are at each of these tastings. So that's 64 people I'm going to meet. Statistically, in the world of direct selling, you will recruit about 6% of those people if you ask every single person. So what is 6% of 64? Math people.
Like 6, 5, 6.
Like 5 or 6 people. So that is how I actually used to set my goals. It was based on how many parties I was going to do and on the average of how many people I was going to meet. Also, statistically, you can look at it where for every 1,000 you sell, you'll recruit 1. So if you have a goal to sell 2,500 in a month, you should be recruiting about 2 to 3 people. So that kind of keeps you on track. And I see those numbers line up all the time. So that's just a little extra as you are starting to build and things that you can look at. But again, the goals are really important. This was Miss Cindy's. She did a do list. She's funny. She wrote it out because
I love it, Cindy.
But
We talked about that last night. She's like, I don't know how to use Canva. I'm like, I don't care. Just write it out and take a screenshot.
Hey, it's keep it simple. Stupid, right? Keep it simple.
Exactly. But don't they say, like, when you actually sit down and you put pen to paper, it's usually you get better results, right? Because it's something in your brain and writing it down and all that, whatever scientific stuff. But she put touch my business every day 2 times. So I would say to Cindy, when are you going to do that? This comes down to like office hours. So is it going to be once in the morning and once in the evening? So really being specific, because if you break out that time, that can make a difference too. Contact 1 potential host every day. Contact 1 potential recruit every day. Contact, it says pastor, potential customer every day. Maybe she was thinking of that's who she needed to reach out to. Practice customer service with every tasting. Encourage my team every day on social media. Text Boxer. Keep my eye on the prize. Cindy, what is keeping your eye on the prize? Jamaica? Is that what that means? I know she's on here. I muted her, I think. You know how I am. I hear a little noise and I get you. Here, I'll unmute you. Cindy?
Yeah.
Here, I had to muted you.
My eye on Jamaica.
On Jamaica. So that is looking at Jamaica, and all of these little action steps you have are going to get you closer to Jamaica. But break it down even further and go, if my prize is Jamaica, how many points do I need to do every single month in order to do that? And then you can back in to the numbers. If I need 8 points a month, where are those coming from? Are those coming from my personal sales? How much am I willing to do? And then you, in turn, take those personal sales number and you turn it into how many tastings you have to do in order to get it. How many people am I going to meet? How many people am I going to ask? So really contact 1 potential recruit every day. Okay, so that's 30 people, give or take, in the month.
Yep.
But that should not include the people you meet at your tastings, right?
Right.
So that's where you have to be like, the days you have tastings, maybe that's it. But sometimes I think that we say, you know what? I already contacted 30 people this month because I met 30 people at the last 3 tastings I did. And then you don't do that extra daily work that you need to do to keep the momentum going. So you can't slack on that. So you have to be like 1 and make a list of who you're going to reach out to. Make a list. This is my list, my 7 people for the week. And yeah, I'm going to call 1 every day because that works with your schedule. I know you work a full-time job. And then next to that, how are you going to communicate with them? Are you going to text them? Am I going to call them? Am I going to email them? Whatever it is, and have that information. So this is where you're breaking down your do list even more into bigger action steps.
Okay.
All right. I don't remember who this is. Who is it? Oh, I think this is Deborah. Are you on here, Deborah? Deborah Griffin? Oh, she's not on here. I'm skipping you too, Deborah. All right. Next. This was Andy, right? And this is Kendall. Hey, are you still there, Kelly? I think this is Andy. Andy, are you still there? Where'd she go? She was driving home from work. Oh, we lost her.
Yes, that's the one with the little bee is Andy.
What is the bee? Do you know what the bee is?
I think she's a busy bee.
Busy bee? Okay. Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Okay. Well, she's not here. I think we lost her because I was going to ask her what this is over here. So I'll have to ask her what this is. What does this say? Wine Girl and I Do board. So she has her calendar, call, text, email. Okay. And then Kindle. I don't think Kindle's on either. people are busy. I think she said it was a tasting.
Kendall was before on. I saw her name earlier.
It was on, like 4 people dropped off.
All right. All right. What did Kendall? Let's just see what Kendall did. I will persist until I succeed. Well, there's a mantra right there. Action plan to promote leader, self-promote, weekly call with team members interested in leadership. That's definitely specific. Talk leadership with all new recruits. I like that. And then in turn, show them the money differences. I'll add that. Increase number of tastings to get in front of more prospects. Be more consistent with full service checkout to find prospects. Cold call 2 people after each tasting to grow my prospect list. This is super specific. Increase number of tastings to get in front of more prospects. So I would say to Kendall, how many more? Like, what does that mean? So being specific, if she's doing 8, does that mean she's going to do 10? So what is that number? So again, breaking it down even more. And then how are you going to get those tastings? Right? And maybe it's being more consistent with full service checkout. So that is to find more prospects. That's what she did put. So that is how she will find them. So again, breaking it down a little bit more. That might be it. And then this was, who was this? Are you on the call? That was one of the first people. Oh, I'm seeing chat.
It was me. It's Linda.
Oh, it's Linda. Okay, I'm like, who is this? Okay, so Linda, I have a question. So your check here, which I love, the check, I would advise you to put how much do you want that check to be?
I didn't know. I'm not very good with this stuff, so I didn't know how to go in there and write it in, but I wanted to do that.
And you don't need to do it. You can basically print it out on a piece of paper and you can write it in. You know what I mean? Like, you can write it in.
That's true. I was trying to do it all digital.
I know, which is awesome. So it's good. So I'd write that number in. So I'm assuming that is, or maybe what that check is I want it to be X amount of money, and maybe it's I'm going to get paid as a team leader every month because you're a team leader.
That was my idea, was being consistently paid as.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like sell your wine. So is that referring more to your PV, right? Your personal sales?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What are some action steps you can do to make sure you increase that PV?
Upselling at tastings, putting out calls, texts to my customers, outside sales type stuff. Letting people know about the specials, the last call lines, things like that is typically how I would work that.
Okay. And then being specific and kind of mapping out your plan every day is what's going to help you do that. And then team is growing your team. Is that recruiting?
Yes.
Okay.
And phone calls.
Making phone calls? Is this the lady with the phone call? Okay. All right. And then, so if you sell more wine, you recruit more people, you're going to get paid as a team leader, you're going to be calling these to make this happen, and then you'll get Jamaica. So it all connects together. Okay.
Yes.
So it's, again, breaking it down, and like I said, print it out and write, what am I going to do in order to do this? Because that is what is going to make the difference.
Yes, makes sense.
This is Alexis, but she is not on. All right. So thanks, guys, for sending those. Just, I wanted to go through them, obviously not every little thing, but just kind of talk about how you can break it down more. I want you really focused on action steps in order to achieve whatever you're wanting to get out of it. So we're going to have a call in 2 weeks. So this is what I want you to do in 2 weeks. I want you to choose 2 trainings to listen to that are in line with what you said you wanted to work on for your business. Find a podcast to listen to, or even a YouTuber that talks about being an entrepreneur. So this is beyond the direct sales thing. It's just being an entrepreneur. And there's some really cool stuff out there you can find. And I want you to specifically listen to something versus reading something. Send me or post what entrepreneurship means to you and why succeeding in your business is important to you. I also want you to write it up for yourself and put it in an envelope and hold on to it, because we'll be reevaluating it here probably in a couple of months. So I want you to write it down. So you could even
what it means to you and what
it means, what entrepreneurship means to you, like being an entrepreneur, and why succeeding in your business is important to you. Like, why are you doing this? So when you go through, like, going to Jamaica, or why is it important that you want to be paid as a team leader? Like, why is it important for you to succeed? And success is different for everybody. That's why it's going to be special to you. So that is really important to really understand why you're doing something. And then usually that why can propel you to make it happen too. So, and put it in an envelope, but you're going to post it too. In 2 weeks, your top requested topics for booking and recruiting. So on August 27th, we're going to talk about how bookings on your calendar affect your recruiting numbers. So I'll dig a little bit deeper into that. And I will talk to the IWC side of it and how it affects leaders too. So I think it is important, and some of you said I don't remember who it was, talk about leadership from the beginning. I think it's important, no matter what you think you want to do with your business, I think you have to understand the business. So it's kind of like, if I'm going to be a consultant and I'm going to do a wine tasting, I'm going to get paid this month. But if I chose to go into leadership and I went and did a wine tasting, this is how much I would get paid. I think it's important to be educated, because knowledge is obviously power. And then you can make an educated decision if leadership is right for you or not, right? So if you want to make, what did Alex say? It's over 50% more income at a tasting is what she was talking about. So what she talks to about with her leaders, then maybe that is for you. So we'll talk about how it affects both sides, but I'll post this too as well. So that's all I had. I just wanted to go through those. We talked wine. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss or talk about?
You know what I was going to ask you about, I don't know if this is the place to do it, but I have listened to the full service checkout. You do such an amazing one. I've listened to it like 3 times all the way through. And I was wondering if there is a way that you could do like a role playing type where you could like see interaction.
Sure, we can do that on this, not right now, but yeah, on a call.
Yeah, right. But I'm just thinking as, as something that I could send out to, team members. And, I was a hairdresser for, 38 years, and visuals are ideal for me. When I'm seeing it being done, it just, I don't know, sticks in my brain more.
Okay. We can do that. And maybe I'll reach out to you and we'll do our own, and then we can show everybody.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I was just going to say what Kelly posted. Do you have any leaders in your area that you can go shadow them at their tastings and their full service checkout?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm the first one. I'm the first one, and so everybody is under me.
She's in the middle of nowhere. Sabrina.
Yeah, I am. Sabrina.
And I'm the only one in Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho, so I have literally no one either.
She is the only one out there. And I'll tell you guys, I never even saw a tasting before I started the business. So you guys you're doing great. But what I wanted to say is maybe what we could do is on our either with Shelly, or I could do with Donna or Sally or somebody, just anybody, I could do just a Zoom and record it and just do full service checkout. And it, it'd be easy.
I would
to
love
upload.
that, Sabrina.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Kelly
Yeah.
had suggested going with if you have anybody in your local area that you've recruited, going with them too and watching them. It's actually fascinating as a leader. I mean, I think your leader was your first recruit, is going and sitting in the back of the room and observing. And I used to do that a lot with people on my team. Like, I'd do their launch with them, but 3 months later I'd go and observe them, and I would make notes and I would give them feedback, and every time it helped them get their average up. You look at it different when you're observing somebody that you're mentoring.
That's a great idea. You could go do that with Jamie or any of the gals, Cindy, over there.
I've actually done that a couple of times. I went to Denise's and I went to Jamie's, and yeah. So if I'm available, and I always tell them to invite me, I'll go.
It's good. And I think being specific, if I'm going to come and I'm going to observe you, you do help them with full service checkout, and you help them set up or whatever, but you're just watching. You're not partaking in the wine tasting. You're kind of sitting back and tell them, I'm going to just kind of do an observation to help you and, give you some tips to help support your business. And people are usually always open to that because they want to do better or they want to learn something. And sometimes you can take someone that's like fantastic and then just even more so propel them with just feedback. I think people appreciate honest feedback too. So I've always loved really doing that. So it's good.
Well, I think that, I mean, I was an educator for years, and I think that learning education and teaching others makes you way better at your job. So
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. If that is it, I'll let you go from our long old call. So everybody have a fantastic week. Look at your boards again. If you didn't do your board, do your board and break it down even deeper. Again, I want you to just kind of break out every day what you want to do with your business. You know, do your calendar control, of course, but also do your office hours, and that can help you make sure that you're fitting in whatever those action steps are into those time slots that you have blocked out to run your business. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Have a fantastic next couple weeks, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And I'll post this on the event page, and I'll fix the link too.
Thank you, Shelley.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.